Do you ever feel lonely? Do you ever feel like do you ever feel like a bit of loneliness in you, or alone, or you feel like people doesn't actually care about you, so you actually like feel quite isolated? Is loneliness a bad thing, or is it a good thing? How do you deal with loneliness? And did you know between like 15 to 25 years old are the years the most loneliest of your time? Well, in average, this is just statistics. And I had time in my life where I felt very lonely. I had time in my life I didn't know what, like I felt like everyone was kind of against me, was pushing into my own corner, and I didn't know how to deal with it. So I kind of rebelled myself. And I think, from my personal experience, I think loneliness is actually quite positive things. If you feel lonely sometimes, I think it's really positive. You have to, like, if you are lonely, you actually build that kind of awareness. You know you are lonely. A lot of people don't actually know they are lonely. That awareness of loneliness where you kind of dissatisfied or unloved or uncared. The reason why between 15 to 25 are the most loneliest years, in my opinion, this is literally like my own opinion, I think it's because that is the age when you get disconnected from your parents. So you spend like the first 15 years of your life, growing up with your parents teaching you things, like telling you how to be, how to act, how to be yourself. And when you are between 15 to 25, you get disconnected from your parents. You get to the point where you are growing up to be yourself, to the point you start having your own opinions to things. And when you become lonely, you actually start being aware of things. You start being aware of who you are, who you want to be. So how to deal with it? How to deal when you are lonely and you don't really know what to do with yourself? Well, for me, I usually try to go for a walk or I meditate. This is the two things, I taught myself to pass last year to deal with loneliness. And every time I go for a walk or like I meditate, I start thinking, my brain start rolling, and it start thinking, it's like, I'm lonely because maybe I'm not nice to people, or I should be nicer, or I should care more about people, and I start questioning myself about my own belief, about my own self. And I think like when you're lonely, you're actually kind of like learning about yourself to be how to be a better person. So you start thinking and being aware of like, maybe I'm much more of a care person and I want to care more about people. How can I care about people even more? What can I do? What can I help them? Like, how can I help people, and how can I show them I care about them? And I always ask myself this kind of questions of, why do I feel that way? Why does people make me feel that way? Why do I feel this way only when I'm alone? Why am I overthinking? So kind of like when you're alone, you're kind of overthinking. Overthinking is not good and it's not bad either. You need to learn how to use your overthinking minds. So when you're alone, you feel lonely and you're kind of overthinking everything about yourself, about your life. You should use that into your own advantage. Your thought process of being lonely should be your thought process of thinking how to be a better person, how to be your real you, who do you want to be. So your loneliness is basically your inner self, your dream self, kind of kicking out, trying to come out of your body. Like your inner self tries to transform into your outer self. Let me repeat this. This is really key. When you are lonely, inner self is basically trying to transform to you to be your outer self. So the inner self wants to be your outer self. You want to become that new you, that real you inside you. When you're in that stage of being lonely, you want to be on the other side. You want to go through that loneliness. So how to get through that loneliness is by being comfortable of being lonely. Guys, when you're a kid, you hang out with your friends, you're with your family 24/7. When you become adults, you don't see your friends, you don't see your family 24/7. You might see your people you live with 24/7 or like most of the day, but it doesn't mean you can see your friends every day. Doesn't mean you can see like your family members every day. And that's why the loneliness kick in. And that's when you need to be comfortable of being lonely, being comfortable of letting your mind become your friend, being comfortable of knowing how you feel, how to understand your own feelings, how to understand yourself. Also, don't be afraid to reach out to me. I'm always free for texts or for calls, or if you want, we can grab a coffee somewhere and like talk about how you feel and things like this. I also feel lonely myself sometimes, but now I kind of develop my techniques and I understand my thought process and my feelings a bit more, so how to deal with it and to be a better person as well. Also, if you like them type of videos, let me know, comment, likes, whatever, or message me personally. I like personal message. I like meeting people. I'd rather meet people than being on social media.